Tally Show. We're live from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here at 5th and State. Also live on YouTube and on Facebook, having the crucial conversations that Erie needs. And I am absolutely thrilled to welcome really one of my contemporaries here in Erie, Pennsylvania, only in age, because this guy has accomplished so much more. It's John Hilbert Sr. He's the owner and CEO of PHB Incorporated. John, welcome to the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you.
What does PHB stand for?
It's a long story, but it's originally it was Parker Hilbert Benson, and now after 40 years of existence, it's been partners have been bought out, ownership has changed. Mm-hmm. It's my brother Bill and I, so we call it Partners Hilbert Brothers.
I love it. That works, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. We're a family show. We like to get origin stories here. Mm-hmm. You grew up in manufacturing, didn't you?
Yep. From a very early age, I worked in tool shops, starting at the bottom, Red Dog Industries, and went to Cathedral Prep, and then went to Alliance College. Came out of Alliance and never quit working in the tool shop.
What was your degree at Alliance? Like a
manufacturing engineering.
Yeah.
And of course now it turned into a women's prison, but prior to that, Alliance was well known for their educational programs in tooling and in the trades. I didn't want to go to college. My father said, "You're going to go to college." So I was able to have it both ways, go to college and still work in the shop. And I've been working in this industry for 40 years. Hard to believe, blink of an eye. Beginning in plastics, working through all of the years that North America or the United States was a powerhouse in plastics, in home products, in appliances, in just about everything plastic.
I was going to say, not only was America dominant in plastics, Northwest Pennsylvania was dominant in plastics.
It's where it started. And when you look at the companies that are still here, the Erie the Plastex, Plasticos, and some of the people that have started from the garage, and progressed and done exceptionally well, and now have hundreds, if not thousands, of employees. Wow. But as we were talking a minute ago, that 25 or 30 years of rush as far as tooling and the trades and the growth of plastics and the explosion of the education of plastics technology, i.e. Barron. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, some of that, as we said, took a hit in the early 2000s when the Chinese and the Japanese effect took place. It decimated the trades, plastics, to a point where a lot of the journeymen in those areas left the trade and went to do something else. And I think the other strength or the other strength certainly Northwest Pennsylvania had for a long time was the trade schools, the VOTEX, the programs that the high school offered in conjunction with employers. So you could go to school, you could work, you could earn your apprenticeship, you could get your papers. And, those jobs now are some of the highest paying. And I know for a fact that $70,000, $80,000 a year is commensurate with some of the college degrees you get. The big difference is you don't walk out with a mortgage called student loan debt.
I think an interesting thing, and that's a little bit of a rabbit trail, but I think it's important to understand, is, you go back 25 years, the capacity of training folks in the trades was greater. Like right now, the kids that are at VOTEC in high school, they're maxed out. You can't find a slot for like welding. You can't find a slot for some of these places here. Is my understanding. They need more capacity at the VOTEC, and like the for-profit schools don't exist. The Triangle Techs and some of the
Right.
some of the folks. Now we do have Erie EIT. There's there's a couple of folks that are still doing it. Great Lakes, but it's not to the
one of the biggest challenges is getting the younger people interested in the trades.
Mm-hmm.
The Manufacturers Association has done the job fair down on the Bayfront for years, and it just seems like we cannot get traction with young people wanting to get into manufacturing. You said that it's hard to get into these trade schools. The problem is that trade schools cannot handle or could not handle, if we were fortunate enough to get the young people interested.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this college thing is and I'm not diminishing the fact that college is great. It's good for some people,
Mm-hmm.
but there's so many advantages outside of that. And I'm not just talking about family sustaining jobs. I'm talking about building wealth jobs. Starting, the other thing is start at the bottom. That seems to have lost some of its appeal in the generation.
People want to jump into middle management.
They want my job, and it doesn't work that way.
Right, yes.
So, seeing and building a future, and a trade is an education. Okay, it's not. It's a different type of education.
Right.
And you get hands-on, and you get an ability to create. You're working with all the latest technology, CNC equipment.
Mm-hmm.
The days of drawing on a board. No, it's all solid modeling now.
The 3D printing and all
oh
that
my
stuff,
God, the
yeah.
3D printing is wild. But and that's what our technology is now,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the trades.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
And
how you learn.
now you're seeing some blurring of the lines because Gannon at IHAC has a whole maker space. I don't know if you've been up there, but it's amazing what they're able to make with metals on their 3D printers and things. And so there's a lot of this practical along with the academic going on. It's interesting. I think part of one of our issues, and again, this another rabbit trail, is that we aren't producing enough kids, period. Our population loss is really impacting the workforce, isn't it?
Well, yes. I would say that the opportunity and the fact that I don't know that population loss, I've never really thought of it along those lines.
Okay.
I think the fact that when I grew up, when you grew up, we came from a different society. It was a different, it was manufacturing. It wasn't cell phones and computers. That didn't exist. So you saw what your father did. You saw what your uncle did. You saw that they worked every day with their hands or in a shop or wherever they worked. And that's what you saw.
Right.
Now, how many years has it been since the younger generations don't see manufacturing? They don't know what tool shop. They don't even know what tool shop is. But they see that their parents work on a computer or, program or the whole manufacturing psyche has disappeared.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you come on, because it occurs to me that we're probably a couple generations removed from
Yes, we are.
knowing, like when my parents came to Erie in the late 40s, both mom and dad worked at the GE.
Right.
And mom, before she had my older brothers, was spinning wires for motors,
Winding motors.
Winding motors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what the women did, or the
Right.
mica, and they had to wear the gloves. And she told me stories about how busy and her girlfriends, and it was a diverse workforce. She had all these friends that were Polish and black and Italian and Russian. I mean, that was
Think of the ethnic clubs.
Think about that. Yes,
that aren't around anymore.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I want to zoom in before my break and talk about the encounter that you had with during a town hall right before Christmas with Senator Dave McCormick. You had an audience with one of the 101 most powerful men in U.S. government, people in U.S. government. You captured his attention. He was listening to you. At that moment, what did you want to get across to the senator?
What I wanted to get across was tariffs aren't working, okay? They weren't well thought through, and they're hurting U.S. manufacturing. Making America great again doesn't correlate with me paying a tariff to a country because our president hit them with a tariff. So now I've not only got to pay more money for my equipment, okay? It's jeopardizing what the whole point was, it was to make us more competitive. Mm-hmm. And, we are basically paying Trump's tariff through Germany, Switzerland, Italy, Japan, wherever, okay? And when I'm told from government officials, well, we've got opportunities in countries like South Korea and Burma, and that's so ridiculous. They don't make manufacturing equipment. They're third world countries. They make sneakers, okay? Mm-hmm. And then when you look at countries like China and India, their industries are subsidized by their government. So if they have to pay a tariff, they just mark it up. Yeah. Or they find ways, which has been proven, to bring it in through Canada, okay? We don't buy our manufacturing equipment in China or India because it's not made there. They're buying the same equipment we are from the same companies we are in these European countries with no tariff. What are we doing? Did anybody think about this? And my biggest thing to Senator McCormick was, why wouldn't you offer some type of a break for industries, okay? He said, well, we can't have cascading tariffs, okay? Well, you better do something because you are crushing the very industries you wanted to help make great again. It doesn't work that way.
I mean, you saw significant increases in cost of goods.
Let me tell you, I spent almost $2 million on a die casting cell, which for me, and it coincides here, we buy our robotics from Germany, our parts handling equipment from Switzerland, our die casting machine from Italy, and we buy all of our CNC equipment from Japan. It doesn't get any worse than that.
Right. And these are the alternates that you have. There are no alternates here in the States.
No.
Yeah, it's not like it's basically just a
they manufacture
a penalty
in Europe. Yeah. They may do some assembly here. Mm-hmm. They may have parts distributions or service opportunities here, but we buy the equipment from them overseas, and it makes it very difficult. And it's multiple sources. The names I've mentioned are names of people we buy from, but all of the equipment is made overseas. Wow. Okay, that's where it is, and the U.S., as I said earlier, the manufacturing base here, I wish they would put as much effort into the manufacturing base as they do the Epstein files.
We're going to take a break here. We're talking to John Hilbert, Sr. Again, he's from PHB. We're talking manufacturing on the Joel Natale Show. Let's talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. John Hilbert Sr. is with us from PHB. We're talking about manufacturing. And, John, I'm going to pull back the Zoom here and give us, from your perspective, how is manufacturing doing in our region? What's the current state of manufacturing? Are manufacturers doing well? Is this a good season? Because that was always the thing politically, is that people felt that prior to the pandemic, we were kind of swimming and things were kind of clicking. Mm-hmm. Where are we at in 2026 here?
Well, I think coming out of the pandemic, everyone was numb, trying to figure out, okay, now where do we go? I know that once we cleared the smoke, business took about a year in our industries, okay, to get back to where we needed to be. Our biggest issue coming out of, and it still is, and if you talk to anybody from somebody who owns a country fair to a manufacturing company, you can't find people.
Yeah.
I don't know where they all went. But industry and business today, I know that in our sector, the metal melting, machining, tool and die, very busy.
Okay.
In other sectors, I can't necessarily speak to plastics, although what I do know is everybody's still hiring, so that tells you that there must be some positive strength.
Yeah, I mean,
there.
you hear about 3 shifts at Parker Lord. I mean,
right.
At Lab Tech, same thing, right?
We're the same thing.
Wow.
We're working weekends. Okay.
Wow.
But the challenges of people is huge. Finding people after the government didn't raise the minimum wage. Okay, they probably would like to say they did, but they didn't. The pandemic raised the minimum wage, okay, and has continued to, right after it ended, up to about maybe a year and a half ago, it seemed to have leveled out.
Yeah.
But that was the catalyst of taking most jobs and adding $5 to $8 an hour at least. And manufacturing jobs, it catapulted the wage to where it was competition. You saw the signing bonuses.
Right.
I never thought in my life I would see signing bonuses in manufacturing, right?
Yeah.
But it is a problem. It's still a problem, and I wish I knew what happened to the people. And anybody you ask that employs people will tell you the same thing. They don't. It's very difficult.
You think about, okay, you graduated from high school 82.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated 80. By the time I got out of college, 84, unemployment was 16%, probably
Right.
50, at least 50 applicants for every job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and that kind of was our mindset through the 80s, 90s, and aughts, and deep into maybe the teens. Because remember, we went through a major economic downturn in 2008, right?
Yes.
And so, wages really didn't move much, did they?
Nope. COVID was the game changer of probably our and many other people's lifetimes.
Yeah.
It's to right now we've got positions open. Our front door is a revolving door.
Is it?
People in, people out.
Why? What keeps them from staying, do you think?
Honestly, they don't want to work. I think once they get in and they see that they have to do something for 8 hours and, actually stay focused, work hard, and do it every day, all day, it's not there anymore. That work ethic is not there.
What about the concept of, you got your foot in the door, you're pushing a broom, or you were in
Yeah.
the mailroom, and to aspire to maybe getting on the floor and being a machinist or whatever.
The
Is that still there at all, or
start at the bottom, work your way to the top. It's rare.
okay?
I think we at our companies absolutely push and impress on people. You start here. This is where you can go.
We'll train you.
Absolutely. Most of our skilled workforce, okay, is trained from within. We had to abandon the fact that we could get people out of trade schools a decade ago.
Wow.
We had to train our own people, our own automation people, our tool makers, our skilled machine operators, and we still do it. We offer schooling in-house, and we pay for education and for training. We basically internalized that trades teaching, trade school component, and we've turned it into our own facility.
So and I have to go to my break, but it's literally a situation where if you can find the person with the character, with the raw materials,
Yes.
you can make them into a successful employee.
Every day, all day.
John Hilbert is our guest here. We're talking manufacturing. Fascinating conversation. And, again, like what we were saying, there's so many folks that are our contemporaries that don't really know what goes on behind those plants, those big buildings. And we're getting a little peek here. Stay with us. News is next on Talk Erie. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show, live, local, and award-winning from our Kingdom Financial Group studio here at 5th and State. Talking manufacturing here today, and John Hilbert Sr., he's the owner and CEO of PHB Incorporated. Again, tool and die, machining, plastics, die casting, shipping around the world, John?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who, other than the States, what's your number one export?
UK, Brazil, Kuala Lumpur.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mexico. Yeah.
That's
a lot.
Cool.
We used to ship a lot more years ago, but a lot of the Fortune 500 companies localized in those countries. Mm-hmm. So we didn't need to ship anymore. They were in country, producing in country.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and our products go to a lot of other countries via our customers who ship from the U.S. So indirectly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good lead in to talking about immigration here. And again, a lot of talk, a lot of chatter locally, even at the county council level, and so on. Talk about what you see is going on with immigration and how that's impacting both you as a business and your brothers and sisters in manufacturing throughout the region here.
Well, immigration essentially for us in Erie County has stopped. I mean, ICE has and the government's approach has basically stopped any type of immigration. I get it. I understand that in the past the border was opened and it was a free pass for everyone. But at the same time, we were doing very good work with USCRI, which was the United States Committee for Refugees, and the MCRC, which is the Multicultural Resource Center. And we were legally bringing immigrants,
refugees
from Ukraine, Afghanistan, Venezuela, Mexico,
Nepalese,
some Nepalese, but all of these people were coming here legitimately, doing all the right things, getting all the right papers and permits, and we would hire them. To the point where we would, I bought transportation for them. Working in unison with these two organizations, they would be able to get apartments. I hired an English teacher to help them, and I paid for them to learn English at our plant. We had a classroom, we would help them get established if it was a driver's license or an automobile or whatever the case. We really worked hard to enable them to be here. And currently, we've got Guatemalans, Ukrainians, probably well over 125, 130 that are key employees at our manufacturing facilities. I wish we could get more, but since the immigration faucet, ICE, and everything we hear about every day has occurred, it's done. And coupled with the fact that it's very difficult to find employees, period, they were a tremendous resource and value, us to them and them to us. And that's another thing that I wonder if anyone ever took a look at where the core employees come for a manufacturing base and how we work hard to bring legitimate immigrants with family-sustaining wages into this country to help us get over the fact that we can't hire Americans.
So let me just make sure people understand what you're saying, because before the break you said, we bring young people in They do the job. It's 8 hours a day, and the resiliency isn't there, and they poop out. Meanwhile, you have a refugee who's just glad to be there and will work the 8 hours, will work the extra, and do the job as a reliable workforce.
And that's
for a lot of folks, that's really hard to understand.
Well, I will say this. The vast majority of people that we hire come to work, do a great job. We've got a tremendous group of employees at PHB. Awesome. But I will say that if we bring in and try and interview 5, if we get 2, we've done well, that want to come to work and work hard and, again, have that.
You're talking about American
workers.
Kids that grew up
right.
here, yeah.
I'm not slamming American workers. I don't want to get give that idea in any way. But the fact of the matter is, we need to draw from multiple resources, okay? American immigrants, we need multiple resources, and one of those resources has evaporated.
Let me ask you about, I had always grown up that, Erie was an advanced manufacturing town. That Pittsburgh, they had the foundries, they made the raw steel. We did something with it. We were the wringer washer capital of the world. We made things.
We make stuff.
But is that that advanced manufacturing that, those 1 or 2 people that they're the only ones around that know how to do something, are those guys and gals all aging out? And is there anybody to put the baton to that have that knowledge base, like, let's face it, our contemporaries, John?
Okay. Yes, we are aging out. But coming up behind us is a whole new group of people with technologies we never dreamed of that are doing what we did a different way. Okay? They'll never replace the core need for the trades and the ability to understand the math and the machine and how to set it up and how to program it. Okay? Is it a bad thing that we're aging out? No.
It's natural.
Because, yeah, it's a natural thing. But the new technologies have taken on some of that, okay? But the fact of the matter is, we need people that still want to work in a manufacturing environment, because CNC equipment, machining metal, casting metal, molding plastic, it's still the core of what we do. No matter what technology, you've got to take something, a plastic pellet or an ounce of metal, and you got to melt it and put it through a process or processes to make whatever the stuff is you're making.
Yeah.
And then you might have to machine it. You might have to assemble it. That's manufacturing. And that is what, if we don't bolster it, we don't get the ground floor strong, it's going to disappear.
And there's other countries that are willing to
Absolutely.
jump right in on this.
China, India. India is a sleeper. I mean, India is a sleeper. They're very, I'll tell you, I think I fear India more than China.
I've been hearing that lately. Yeah.
Because, again, these countries have a limitless supply of people, very little regulation, subsidized by their governments. That's why when they say, well, I can buy it in India, I can buy the casting in India for $2 and you want $8. And I said, well, if I did the math backwards and calculated everything back out of it that I have to pay for, you'd see why.
Right.
They don't have OSHA or the DEP or any of the regulatory commissions governing their businesses.
It's crazy.
Yes.
I got to ask you about entrepreneurship in advanced manufacturing. Are there places for like these young people that have new ideas to be entrepreneurs and still make things?
Yes. You know,
Sphere Brakes.
One example would be Sphere Brakes.
Yeah.
Okay, we are involved with Sphere Brakes. It's a young company, and the founder of it has partnered with us to develop a new braking system that is revolutionary and right now focused on the DoD side of it, but revolutionary in design, in mechanical function, in ease of installation, and it has taken a long time. And you know, Aaron and his group are that group I was talking about that understand you start here and you work your way, and you take your hits, and you go to the test track, and you fail, and you pick it back up, and you redesign it, and you do it again. And finally, after many, many, many years, they're getting to a point where people are recognizing them. The government just recognized them, and the DoD is helping to fund them to get it to the next level. They will succeed. Yeah. And it started from the core concepts of manufacturing and went through the whole process using all the technologies that we have now, the computer-aided design, the models that are generated. I mean, it followed that path. But what's the key? The key, they still used our tool makers, our shops, our machines, our processes to assemble, to make that product work.
Yeah. This begs the question about artificial intelligence, and again, there's a lot of fear there. You know, what are your thoughts on where that? How? First off, are you starting to use that at PHB?
Yes, but
how do you use it?
You know, I think we've used artificial intelligence for a long time. It has evolved. I mean, the basic computer, your iPhone. Spell check. I mean, that's AI, right?
Yeah.
So I am not and will never claim to be an AI expert. The robotics that we use, the automation that we use, the ability for our quality control equipment to scan and to think ahead of the last part they did and the next part they inspect, they have that history and they start to build the ability to read forward on what their next job is or what the next area they're going to inspect is. So is it a good thing for us? Yes, but I think what we use it for, you don't really have to be scary. We're not trying to figure out where somebody is on Saturday night at 11 o'clock. We're using it for very core manufacturing purposes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you get a sense that you still need the people.
Absolutely.
Even as the tools are more automated.
Yes.
and
yes.
The knowledge is higher here.
Hey, maybe someday there'll be a factory with robots doing everything I'm talking about, and everybody will say I was wrong. But right now, and for the foreseeable future, as long as I think I'm in the industry, we need people.
When you talk to people in education, when you talk to principals or, you know, at the VOTEC or the CTE class at Erie High, give that pitch for why this is a honorable pursuit to be in manufacturing.
We have spent, I know several of our managers, my brother, have spent an enormous amount of time at local schools, Fort LaBeouf, McDowell, Seneca, Girard, and what we spell out to the leadership of those schools is, again, everybody doesn't have to go to college. We graph out for them because it comes down to money. How much am I going to make? And we've put right on a board, this is how much you'll make. This is how much debt you won't have. This is the value. This is the skill set you'll have at the end of 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. And we show the progression and we show the value that This isn't something you're going to walk into a factory and slug away with a hammer for the next 30 years. You can progress. You can vertically grow in any company you join by working hard, knowing I start here, I go to this level, then I go to this level. That is the natural progression of a career.
Yeah.
That's what a career is. And that's what we try and get across to them.
Yeah. And are you getting the sense that, again, with conversations like this, with your participation in things like the manufacturers and talking to Senator McCormick, whatever, that maybe we're standing in the gap again, that we're starting to get this message across?
I don't get that feeling. No, I'm going to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
No, I do not get the feeling that the trades and the value of being in manufacturing is catching on. I don't get it, because I don't see the numbers in trade schools and that taking on. We go to a job fair and talk to the students and tell them what's going on, and we get zero.
Wow.
So there's still a huge gap. There's something that we need to crack to get across, that this is a good career path for you.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't have the answer.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been, and this just didn't happen last year. This has been a years, decades-long effort to try and get young people interested in the trades.
I don't think you're too scared of being a little political. So is there something that you're hoping that the president will talk about tonight when it comes to kind of your where you view things from here in Erie, PA?
I think I never expect to hear anything earth-shattering, because
Right.
It's always just kind of a big the economy's doing this, or the jobs are doing that. They never dig down. They never, it's like when we talk to our local politicians. It's hard to get your arms around your hands around what they do and what value did they bring, because for the core manufacturing, for what makes our economy work, we're missing it. And do I expect the president to say we're going to pledge $1 billion to the manufacturing education of our young people? No. Would I like to hear him say it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they'll fly at 30,000 feet and everybody will hear what they usually hear.
The governor knocks on your door, you're going to give him a tour and show him all the amazing things you do?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
If he can do something for me.
Yeah.
And when I say me, I mean Erie. I mean Erie Manufacturing. I mean the companies in Erie that need to have somebody recognize the fact that it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah. I think one of the, just my editorial comment was, I was surprised that Senator McCormick was surprised at some of the reaction he got in Erie. Like, he got an earful. And he's got to understand that, yeah, we're not Pittsburgh. Our employment level in manufacturing is higher than the state and national average. We still make things in Erie.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's like, we're not going to necessarily be all about the shiny new thing, which is the data centers and using up, gigawatts of power.
Right. We are a molten metal manufacturer. We make parts for consumer, automotive, heavy truck, off-road truck. We do telecommunications, but we make the core part from an ingot of metal. We cast it, we machine it, we might paint it, assemble it. That's what we do.
Yeah. I'm so glad you were able to come tell your story here.
Thank you.
We'll have you back, I'm sure, because I just think it is so crucial. I consider manufacturing one of the three-legged stool here. Manufacturing, meds and eds, and the service industries and the tourism and things. That's what makes Erie's economy go. But that leg of manufacturing is so important to stay strong.
It is. It's the core. It's the foundation.
Absolutely.
Thank
John
you.
Hilbert, owner and
Thank you.
CEO of PHB. It's Talk Erie.